Hi guys, Drwendydearborne here from the Laws of Attraction in Action. If you don't know me, then welcome, and if you know me, welcome too. I recorded a Facebook Live earlier today, and while I was listening to the playback on the computer, on my PC, and also one of my tablets, it was fine. It was only when I actually was looking at it on my telephone that I realized that for me it was really glitchy. It kept buffering. And because the information is really important and I feel it's really pertinent and really important, I decided that I would actually record this using a video camera and edit it and do everything that way because the information is important. So guys, for those of you who know me, I am all about choice. My life is about choices and bringing that information to people. And the information is to understand that your life is built one choice at a time. Whether you make this choice of your own volition, whether you don't, whether you feel it was under duress and or not, choice is choice. And your life is built one choice at a time. And so for me, it's paramount then that you actually make choices that will impact your life the way that you want it to. So what do? I support people in finding their choices. No, I don't make choices for you. Finding their choices using an intrinsic dialogue. And then I help people to get clarity around that. If you're not clear on where you're going, you got your choice. You know, you want to go to Mars, you want to go, wherever. If you're not actually clear on where exactly it is that you want to go, it makes it really difficult to create a blueprint or a plan of action to get there. So guys, this actual recording is called Reflections on, I got my notes here, Reflections on the past 12 months as you journey into 2020. Well, let me just talk about 2020 for a moment. What you need to know about the year 2020. 2020 is a attention to detail year. And I literally mean it's about you choosing to, you don't have to, but you choosing to pay attention to the details of the things that you want in your life. Pay attention to the detail of getting clear around what it is that you are choosing for your life. You see, when you add 20 and 20 together, you get 40, and that will go down to the lowest denomination, I believe will be 4, okay? And 4 is actually the square of life. 4 is the square of life. 4 is the foundation of which all things are built. So right now, we are moving into, and very much we're already into the energy of building what it is that we want, creating that foundation so that that which we say that we want can be built on it. And it's about creating a strong foundation because guys, at the end of the day, we all know, and if we don't, all you have to do is surf the internet to see what happens when a structure, a beautiful structure, is actually built on a foundation that is lacking, a foundation that's jacked, a foundation that's cracked, a foundation that isn't even the right size, a foundation that isn't strong, a foundation that's faulty. It doesn't matter what you build upon this foundation, it will never be right. And eventually, the foundation will show you that it's not right. So even in life, as you move through life with the things that you want to do, building a strong foundation is key. And again, we're going into 2020. 2 is all about 20. 2020 is all about creating a foundation that has your focus and attention on it so that you can take care of the details. All right, so I wanted to start out with that. So what I did was I created some questions, and you can actually download these in the group, in the group, the file, and or if you read the blog on the laws of attraction in action.com, you click the link at the bottom and you're able to actually download these questions. So, as I say here in the notes, or I say in the notes, this was actually my blog. We're fast approaching the end of the year, and for me, all I can say is, and truly all I can say is that this year for me has been transformative, it has been amazing, and it has been a blessing. And I say a blessing because many things have happened this year that have actually revolutionized my life, that have catapulted me further along on my spiritual journey. So it's been an absolutely phenomenal year, but understand me clearly, I'm not saying that this was all, you know, peaches and cream or roses. Much of it was really, really gut-wrenching, and at the very least, painful. Gut-wrenching and painful. But that being said, I can still smile, and I am still smiling, and I am still saying that yes, it has and it will continue to be an amazing, amazing journey. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Oh, it's the thing on the chair. I was trying to figure out what I was seeing. I was seeing something, I couldn't figure it out. But anyway, so that being said, guys, I've compiled a list of 15 questions for you, and these questions are for you, okay? This is about asking you a set of questions to assist and support you as you move through this stage of your life, okay? And this stage of life, it's moving you through to 2020. And once again, attention to detail so that you can create a solid foundation so that you can build your life upon, okay? So, each question that I have compiled, or each question that I have created, it's an intrinsic question. And what I mean by that is it's designed for you to go inside so you can find your answer. And it's really important that you actually find your answers. But before I continue on with that, I just want to say this, guys. For those of you who know me and those of you who follow my work, those of you who participate in my work, I am truly hardcore on and in the belief that you don't go down the rabbit hole. And what I mean by that is you don't go digging up in the dirt in your past. Okay? You don't go down the rabbit hole. And again, following my intuition told me, based on everything that I have personally experienced, that sometimes it's so important to reflect. However, you reflect with the intention of not staying in this place of, oh, woe is me, if I woulda, shoulda, coulda. No, you reflect by looking at what has happened. You become the observer. You become the observer. You are now the observer being the observed. So you step back and you kind of replay what's going on in your mind like a movie. But you have no emotional attachment or emotional input on this. You don't do that. You look at it, but what you do is you want to learn from it. Because everything that happens to us, guys, whether we believe it's good, bad, indifferent, whether it makes us happy, whether it makes us sad, whether it makes us homicidal or suicidal or whatever you want to say, everything happens to us. Everything happens for us and for a reason. And it's for us to want that reason. It's for us to want to know that reason. And this is what this is about. Knowing the reason why 2019 was the season why things unfolded the way in which they unfolded. And to that end, what did you learn from it? What did you actually learn from your experiences that you can take with you into 2020? So the thing that you say that you want, you can actually utilize the energy from this experience and utilize it so that when you and God commune in the closet, in your mind, in that secret place, you have all this stuff at your disposal. You have all this experience at your disposal. And you can say with clarity, within your heart. So you know with your heart's desire, Father, this is what I want. So anyway, guys, that being said, part of this exercise is about you finding, as I just said, finding and curating positive outcomes on situations that you have experienced in the past. Other than that, I don't go down the rabbit hole. Your life is ahead of you. It's not behind you. Everything that is going on from this moment forward is about what's happening in the present and what's happening in your future. I forgot the telephone. Okay, there's only one ring. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave that. I'm just going to let this roll. This will just be live. So, okay, guys. It's really important that when you answer the questions, that you answer them in truth and honesty, okay? And what I mean by, I'm not looking for politically correct answers. I'm not looking for things that you think you should say because you have been taught to believe that way. I'm looking for answers that even if they fly in the face of everything that you have been told you must believe, everything that you do believe, it just flies in the face of everything and it is your raw truth. You see, the universal creator, known to me as God, understands and knows truth. So when you hear your truth, understand that the universal creator, known to me as God, the manifester, will be able to hear your truth. Your truth's what's in your heart. Your truth's what's in your heart. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to dive into the questions. But before I do that, you know me, guys, you know I've always got to do this. Before you do that, something that I had written here, I'm going to say this. You're here in this life, in this moment, in this time for a purpose. And you are living your life for a purpose. You're not some sort of accident of reproduction. That's not how it works, guys. You are here for a purpose. You are living a purpose. And whether you choose to believe that or not, it's true. And whether you choose to believe it or not, your purpose is seeking you, because you are the only person in the however many billions of people who are on the face of this planet that can do what you have chosen to come here to do, what you and God have worked out for you to do. You have a purpose, guys. And believe it or not, mankind and humanity kind of depends on you getting your stuff right. You see, when you show up in truth, that gives me permission. It gives me the inspiration, the motivation. It gives me everything that I need, including the energetic stream of truth, so I can show up too. So you're here for a reason. I just wanted to say that. So guys, the questions. The first question that I have for you is simply this. What are or is the greatest achievement or achievements, you know, that you've had for 2019? So what are or what is the greatest achievements that you have achieved, that you think you have achieved for 2019? And this isn't what somebody else thinks, right? I couldn't care less what anybody else thinks. And guys, when I tell you, when I tell you I couldn't care less, you need to understand, I don't need people to validate me, and neither do you. So what is your greatest achievement? It could be anything. It could be, you know, from, as I said earlier in the earlier recording, that you made a commitment to yourself that you would not allow, like my junk drawer. I don't understand what happens with the junk drawer. I just don't get it. I clear it out and it's all good. And the next thing I know, I look and it's like, oh my God, it's just growing. But that's the universal law of space. Space, space, space. The universal law of space. But anyway, I can easily get off on a tangent. All right. So what's your greatest achievement? Did you hit your weight goal? Did you hit your financial goals? Did you just hit the goals of just taking care of self? So what was your greatest achievement? Okay. Question number 2. What has been the greatest lesson that you have learned in 2019? So what is 2019, the greatest lesson that you learned in 2019? What was it? What is it? What was it? Because you see, guys, all this stuff that you have learned, you can apply it to, it's knowledge. You can apply it to creating the correct energetic stream so that you can manifest what it is that you want to manifest and understand. And I've said this repeatedly for those of you who are just getting to know me, you know, you need to understand your role in the manifestation process. You see, there's you and there's God, or there's you and the universal creator. There's you and spirit, or you and whomever your chosen deity is. I don't care. Understand your role. You are the what and God is the how. Don't get it confused. You need to know what and then let that go so God can do the how, which is to move people, places, and things, which is to move energy so that you can have the things that you say that you want. Okay? So guys, this knowledge is important. So my question number 3, in what way have you shared your newfound wisdom, the learning that you have learned in 2019? What way have you shared this wisdom with others? And I'm not talking about maybe what I'm doing here on the platform. I'm talking about, you know, somebody in the workplace who you see who's struggling, and based on your experience, and you're not telling them what to do, you're sharing knowledge so that they can either take it and or leave it. But you're like, hey, you know something? I want to share something with you. And you see the light bulb go on. They may never tell you anything again, but you see the light bulb go on. Or you see somebody and you know that they are messing up, and you're like, hey, come here. Baby, let me tell you something. You know, in what way, once again, have you shared your newfound wisdom with others? Okay, important. Question number 4. What was the greatest challenge that you overcame in 2019? What was the greatest challenge? And believe me, if I thought that some of the other years that I had were challenged, these last 14 months, which is a year and a couple of months, they have been as challenging as all get out. But did I learn from them? Yes. Yes, I did learn from them. You know, one of the things that I learned was it's really important to know when to say no and mean no, and not to, once again, not to have to validate yourself because you're dealing with family, you know, or friends or work colleagues. It's important to be able to say no. What does it look like for you to apply that knowledge, what you overcame, you know, what you overcame into 2020, in your life in 2020? What does it look like to apply this knowledge? It's important. Knowledge is power when you use it. You are empowered. And all of this is stuff that has happened to you. It's not somebody telling you, you know, like read from a book and get it that way. No, you have walked this walk. This is you walking this walk. So my next question to you would be about professional growth. And what professional growth have you experienced for 2019? What did you experience for 2019 as professional growth? And, you know, people say, well, I'm retired. All I do is take care of my grandkids. Or I'm retired and I really don't do anything much. Or, you know, my job's not really high pressured. And people will come up with all these different things. Well, believe me, if you are a homemaker, if you're at home or you're raising kids, or you've raised your kids but you've got the grandkids, you know, if you're doing all of this, You're a professional in some sort of capacity. And if somebody can get paid to do the job that you're doing, then you're a professional. Don't mistake that. So my thing to you is, what professional growth have you experienced for 2019? And that is, have you found a different way to meal prep? Have you found a different, cleaner that really actually works and it degreases, it does what professional growth, and it cuts down your time in the kitchen. What professional growth have you experienced? Okay, guys? Did you get promotion? Did you know what? Okay, important. What personal growth? Okay, I'm sorry, this is number 7. What personal growth did you experience, or have you experienced for 2019? What personal growth? And again, for me, based on the year that I've had, or year plus that I've had, I've experienced tremendous growth. With that growth has come tremendous freedom, though. With that growth has come tremendous freedom. It's allowed me to let go. Okay? And what spiritual growth have you experienced for 2019? Well, it's really important to understand. For me, I'll phrase it this way. Personal growth that I experienced was, and I believe I had said this earlier, personal growth that I experienced is this, that when God slams a door shut based upon the desire of your heart, God will allow you to pry that door open if that too is the desire of your heart. But when God has slammed the door shut, the door needs to remain shut. It's for a reason. Spiritual growth for me has been the reaffirming of letting go and letting God. Personal growth has been about surrender and the ability to let go and recognize I can't do this by myself. I don't even know what to do. So I'm going to let go. I turn it over. I turn it over because I can't do this. I don't even know what to do with this. I've been trying to do this and that. I don't even understand what's going on. And so that for me has been the mixture of things that have been going on. So number 9 would be, what's the one thing that has happened this year that pleasantly surprised you about yourself? And I'm actually talking about the feeling that left you sort of saying, damn, I'm actually good at this. Or, who knew I was capable of this? Who knew I could do this? Right? Who knew I had the ability? I mean, I pulled this out of my head. Who knew I had the ability? Okay, guys? And so that's what I mean when I say one thing that pleasantly surprised you about yourself this year. What is it? Number 10, what profound aha moment has brought clarity into your life forever and it's changed you? And I think I really spoke on that a moment ago. When the door's been slammed, when God slams that door shut and locks it, know that you can pry it open based on your request. You can ask. But when it's closed, it needs to remain closed. Aha. What's the funniest thing that ever happened to you? As I said earlier, and this actually is really up close and highly personal, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. The funniest thing happened to me was actually at my father's funeral. And that was in June, my father's funeral in June. And I was doing, one of Wendy's usual things. And I was actually going to get somebody, okay? And I was in somewhat of a hurry. And I actually stepped on somebody's headstone, but it was one of the plaque things, but it was uneven. And let me back up, same way I did this morning. As a child, right into I got married into my mid-20s, I actually attended drama, speech, drama, amateur dramatics, speech, drama, elocution, and all this other stuff. And one of the things that you were taught at a very early age was how to faint. Because if you were playing a role that needed you to faint, you couldn't always just sort of slump in a chair. Sometimes you literally had to hit the deck, you had to hit the floor. And so we were taught how to relax and let go. Surrender. How to relax and let go. And so I was walking at a fairly rapid pace, and my foot went into this dip, and I felt my ankle turn in my shoe, okay? And I'm having this split-second conversation with myself. It was really split second. It's like, you can fight this or do what you know best. And so I let go. So I went down, and I went down like I fainted. I realized this because I was on the ground, but I was laughing. I was laying flat out on my back, and I was laughing. My velvet suit and everything. Nah. The funny thing is, my clothes didn't get dirty. This is something that amazed me. But my daddy got jokes. Okay, Pops, I realize you got jokes. So anyway, next thing I know, my husband's face is right in front of me. And then behind him are the funeral director and I think the driver. And everybody, and then my nephew Nicky came from out of nowhere. And everybody's kind of looking at me. And really, I am peeing myself laughing, literally. And they're asking me if I'm all right, and I'm laughing. Now, I realize that they think that I have collapsed based on the fact that, you know, we're there to bury my father. And Nikki and my husband, they pulled me up. Thank you, guys. They pulled me up. Needless to say, my clothes weren't dirty, which surprised me. I mean, it surprised me. But my niece, who was facing and could see, she said to everybody else who was round sort of like the gravesite, they was like, man down, man down. And that, you know, it just had me laughing. That meant everybody started laughing. And what was a very emotionally charged and tense moment at the burial of my father, you know, we would put the roses in and, you know, the earth was going in and all this. It turned into something that was really quite funny for us. And so I know that was my dad's hand. I didn't appreciate falling though, Pops, I have you know. But that was my dad. And that for me was the funniest thing that happened, believe it or not, for 2019. So for you, what was the funniest thing? Laughter is important in our life. Laughter can elevate and change a situation. It can take a situation that is really traumatic and tense and can be charged with all this emotion and that can spiral out into negativity and all sorts of stuff. Laughter can take it and diffuse it. Laughter has the ability, much like love, I said this earlier today, much like love, laughter has the ability to transmute. It creates change. It creates a level of change. It creates an understanding that, hey, look, it's not as bad as you think it is. Or this stuff is really kind of funny. When you look at it, when you come at it from another angle, it's really kind of funny. Laughter is good. So this is why I say, what's the funniest thing that happened to you? Okay, so that was number 11. Number 12, in 2019, and this is important, my clients, they know, I beat them over the head with this, right? In 2019, what have you done to give back to others, expecting nothing in return? And darlings, I ain't talking about going to the Goodwill and dropping stuff off, which is good, that works. You see, but with that, you can get a little tax relief. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about giving where you expect nothing in return, not even a thank you. And that can be something as small as holding a door open. Or, you know, in some states and some countries, if you're going to use the grocery carts to shop, the little boogie cart, they require you to put your money in so people don't take the carts. And when you take the cart back, you slide the little gizmo in and it gives you back your money. How many of you have helped, you know, seen a senior or something like that? And, you know, they're coming in, you know, many seniors appear to be challenged financially, and or just because they're old. You know, you give them your card, you know, and they're trying to give you the dollar, or they're trying to give you the pound or the 25 cents. You know, ma'am, you're good, have a nice day, keep on going. This is what I'm talking about. Or taking the time out just to smile at somebody. Or you see somebody, you see, well, for a woman to woman, I suppose, you see another woman and you look at her and you like, you know something, she looks really good. She looks really, really good. That sister's put it together. She may be a BBW, all right? Sister got it going on. And you tell her that her hair looks good. That might have been the thing that she needed to hear that day. Follow it. But again, what have you done to give back to others in 2019 where you expect nothing in return? Absolutely nothing in return. Earlier this year, a couple of months ago, I created a video and it was called What Dad Said. And I'm going to do some more of those actually. What Dad Said. And you guys should check that out. You really check it out. It's about giving without expecting nothing in return. Okay, number 13. This was really written for one of my clients and they know who they are. I spoke to them this morning. Today's Friday the 27th. They were my 10 o'clock appointment. So I spoke to them this morning. What adjectives, no more than three, would you use to sum up 2019? And positive, I'm going to say positive adjectives. Well, I started out with amazing, transformative, and guys, the other one I have to say is blessed. Blessed. I am blessed, and I continue to be blessed and embrace the fact that I am blessed. I cannot even measure my blessings. And that's the God's honest truth. I cannot even measure my blessings. It's so vitally important to be able to be grateful in spite and despite the circumstances that you find yourself in. Now, I'm going to say this. You might need to wrap your head around it a little bit or a lot before you can move into the space of gratitude. I'm all about that. But as long as you get to that space, that is where you need to be, in a space of gratitude. So I'm blessed. Despite everything that has gone on this year, or the last 12 months, which it has been a journey. It's been a journey. I am grateful for it. I am grateful for it because I've learned. I've learned more about me. And when I know about me, it makes it easier for me to make choices that are in my best interest. Number 14, what does it look like to incorporate self-care in 2020 for you? And there are only 3 questions actually that I've asked about 2020. Everything has been about 2019. So what kind of self-care, or what does it look like to incorporate self-care that's taking care of you in 2020? If you say to lose weight, you need to come at it a little bit more definitively than that with me. You know, you can't just say lose weight. How much weight? And what does it look like for you to do this? And I did this with my client. I was a little gentle with it, but my client had it down. They knew what they were going to do, and they had a timeline because they've already started. They have an expectation, and that is where you need to be. Whatever it is that you're going to do for self-care for you, it can't be a generic, oh, I'm going to do yoga. You got your mat? That was my niece. Oh, I'm going to do yoga. I need to get a mat. I've been saying that for, how long was it, Pumpkin? You know how long she was saying that? I sent her the money so she could buy the mat. Okay? No. Be definitive. Get what you need so you can take care of you. Far too often, it will be, your husband, the kids, your siblings, your parents, your girlfriends, you this, the blah, 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 and you're at the bottom of the list. That's not how that goes. That is not how that goes. It needs to be you and God up here. Then everything else behind you, which is why they say on the aeroplane, and I say this frequently, I quote this frequently, if they deploy the oxygen mask and you have people with you who are dependent on you, you need to put that mask on your face first. You have to take care of you first. You gotta take care of them. And as the flight attendant said, put the mask on you, and if you want them around, put that on them. I thought that was cold. Actually, I thought it was kind of funny, to be honest with you. But cold, but funny. But you do you first. If you don't do you, you are no good to your family. You're no good to your employer. You're no good to your siblings. You're no good to your friends. You're no good to the church. You're no good because you don't ultimately feel good. You give 50%, well, people say, well, at least it's 50. No, baby, not when you can give 100. So it's about taking care of you. So what do you want to do for you? What do you want to do for you? Is there a craft that you'd like to learn? Would you like to learn batik? I don't know where that came from, but would you like to learn the art of batik or batiking? I'm not even sure if that's a correct word. You know, would you like to learn how to sew? Would you like to learn how to make bread? Would you like to learn how to, you know, what is it that you want to do for you? Do you want to do yoga or qigong or tai chi? Tai chi, qigong is the spiritual side of tai chi. It's the healing side. It's the movement of the energy within the body to heal. Would you like to learn about aromatherapy? And I'm not talking about learning about, would you really like to learn about aromatherapy? You know, like, you know, really like learn about aromatherapy. You know, would you like to learn how to assist and support people without telling them what to do or without trying to fix them? You know, people are always trying to fix other people. Well, they're not broken, they're not damaged, and they need a fixing, that's for sure. What people need is clarity. That's what people need, is clarity around their choices. And so, guys, drum roll, please. Got that? Drum roll, please. The golden question. For those of you who know me, my golden question is this. What are you wanting for you in 2020? Okay? Now, if answering the what are you wanting for you in 2020 is too big, then I ask the question, what are you wanting for you in this moment that is going to support you as you move into 2020? So I flip the script and the question. So what are you wanting for you in this moment as you move through into 2020? And guys, those are the 15 questions. I've already said this, so I'm going to say it again, and you'll find it on the notes. The answers that you choose to give, or the answers that you give, they must be, I have here should be, but they must be honest and authentically you. It's not what you think the best answer should be or whatever is politically correct. It shouldn't be that. What you need to do is to tell your truth. It needs to be your truth. It's what your truth is. Now, this is even if it flies in the face of what you have been taught, what you know, or what you have been taught to believe. Doesn't mean it's your belief. You've been taught to believe it. It's your truth that you are after. And your truth will provide you with a workable blueprint so that you can begin the process of using God's laws, spiritual laws, nature's laws, universal laws, whatever term makes you feel good. You'll be able to use these laws so that you can manifest what it is that you want in your life. You can find the clarity around the choices that you have made so you can manifest what you want in your life. Guys, please don't forget that the year 2020 is going to be a year that is dedicated to the attention of detail. And that's your detail and attention to the detail of your life and the details surrounding your life, the details of what you want your life to be. And that, my friends, takes a lot of energy and a lot of focus. You see, it's the square of life that you are building upon or you're expanding, okay? It's the square of life. The square of life is the foundation upon which your life is built. So guys, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne. You can download this information right there, either on the website, thelawsofattractioninaction.com. You can download it there. If you go to the blog, you'll see the blog at the bottom of the blog. Click the link, you can download it. And of course, you're watching this on the group page. Just go to files and you can download. I encourage you guys to answer these questions. Some of these questions, as I said, I don't usually go back down in memory lane. I really don't. For me, the type of coaching that I do, it's really it throws it on its head. Intrinsic coaching isn't about going backwards. It's all about forward momentum and moving forward. But yet still, because I practice the universal laws and because I listen to myself, self said I needed to do this. I needed to do this. You see, because once you've done this and you've answered these questions, it gives you a snapshot, not only of who you are, but how successful 2019 has been. Guys, my name's Dr. Wendy Dearborne. I wish you a happy new year, a prosperous new year, an abundant new year. I ask that the universal creator, known to me as God, illuminates your pathway so every step you take is taken within the light of God that radiates from you. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne, guys. Blessings. Until next time, guys. Peace.